Hello and welcome. We're going to be doing something very different this time around, where we'll be doing all of our shooting from the comfort of my own home, where I get to be as comfortable as I please. I'll just put this here for now. Last year, I had the pleasure of participating in a photography challenge with a couple of friends. It was no pressure, no stakes. The person that was orchestrating the entire thing would pick a theme each week. You would go out, do your shot according to the theme, and then come back and then share the results with everybody. It's not to critique anybody, it's just to have a good time and enjoy the process of taking photos. Thankfully, the person that is orchestrating it has started doing it again this year, and our starting theme for the year is water/wet. Originally, I was thinking I would go up to this dam that we've done some shooting at before, but the water is not running this time of year, so I wanted to try out something at home, water droplet photography, something that I've never done before. Looking across YouTube, there's tons of examples of people that have already done this exact thing. A couple of themes that are standing out. Most people have lights from either side of the subject, and they're using strobe flashes to try and capture the action. They're also using macro lenses, and they have a very tight aperture to really just give them all of that wiggle room with focal distance. With my equipment, I'm not going to have that much of a strength, but we'll see what we're able to do with it. Let's pick out a couple of lenses and see what we'll be working with today. All right, so here's what I'm thinking my options will end up being over the course of exploring this. First one being the nifty 50. From reading online, we should be able to pull into about 1.5 feet of distance while we're shooting with this. We'll see how this one goes. This is an older lens that I had picked up back in 2008, where I thought a bigger number meant better photography. So this is a Sigma 70x300, and it says it has a macro feature, only works from 200 to 300 millimeters, but the sharpness on this lens is extremely lacking. We'll see what we're able to pick up with this. And then finally, a sharp lens, one that I favor outside shooting landscapes. This is the Canon 70x200 f4L with image stabilization. The issue that I know we'll probably encounter with this one is twofold: the focusing distance and the speed that we're able to end up shooting with the image. Another thing that I'm really concerned with is the lighting. Like I had mentioned, most people are using strobing flashes. I have no flashes, so we're going to do our best with as much lighting as I can scrounge up around my home. This is going to include flashlights. And then here, I'll show you the setup that we have here. So we have one light that's mounted here, and then a ring light back here. So we're going to use both of those from either side of the droplet. Let me go ahead and start building into the setup. I think what's going to be the move is I'll use an elongated tray just so we're able to see all of the reflection of the water kind of reaching out from where the water droplet is. And then I'll need to pick out some interesting things to put in the background just to make the scene pull together a bit more with the water droplet. All right, so as far as options that we're shooting with, I'm thinking we'll probably want to use something like Grandma's old sheet pan, just because it's long, it's shallow, so when we fill it with water, we can end up getting a low angle relative to it and have more water with a potential reflection in the background, leading to something that we'll actually end up choosing to put in the background to end up giving a bit more ambience to the image. Let's go ahead and get some of this set up. All right, so here's where we're sitting at first with the camera and the water tray. Now we need to figure out how we're going to get water to drip into the tray. There's two things that I really want to happen. I want it to just kind of happen on its own, and I want it to happen consistently in the exact same space so we can dial in our focus appropriately. Shout out to Jeff Cable for this idea and approach. A plastic bag just seemed very practical and cheap and easy. You poke a hole in the plastic bag, get some steady drips going, and I decided to use one of my microphone stands as a method of supporting the plastic bag. The next thing we're going to need to do is just take a little pin and poke it through here. I don't want to do that until we're ready to start shooting though, so we need to figure out what we're going to use as a background for any images that we're taking. I think I'll just take something off the wall and we'll use that. Okay, so I took a needle and poked the bag, and now we have a pretty steady stream of water droplets. I think this is actually going to work out fairly well as far as the drop rate that I'm looking for, but the question is still going to be the image. I'm still not sure about the setup with this particular tray, the background, but we'll need to get the lighting set, and let's see what we're able to capture. Here's the setup that we're working with. We set the light over to a nice blue setting because we really want to get that water vibe going. I'm wondering how the focus is going to turn out, so let's go ahead and get a photo. I'm getting the focus on my finger. Oh, there we go. Got a hit there. This is actually really fun. I think I want more light in the scene though, so I can pull down that ISO and widen the aperture though. I'm seeing where the flash is coming in for a lot of people. So I'm gonna get my, my super bright flashlight and we'll see if that helps. I'll just set it right here. I think this will work out, but only in super power mode. And it looks like everything is black except for where that super bright beam is hitting. Oh, some of these are awesome. I'm gonna speed it up just a bit. So I think we're getting some good images here, but what I'm noticing already is consistency, and I think what it comes down to is the distance between the surface that you're dropping water onto and where the water is coming from. I think if we increase that distance a bit, we might get some more interesting water droplets. It's gonna be difficult to do with this setup. I'm gonna see if I can find some office clips and we'll move the bag up a little bit higher. Actually cranking up the aperture a bit, making everything basically black, aside from that exact point where the light's shining extremely brightly. Makes for some pretty interesting ones. I think at this point, let's go ahead and switch out the lens for another one, and we'll see what we're able to do with that. I'm having a good time. This is very fun. I think let's do the macro one first. Okay, 70 by 300 old Sigma lenses on, the one that I got from 2008. However, I thought big numbers meant better lenses. So getting in focus is already a little bit more difficult because I can't exactly sit behind the camera and hold my finger out here. So we're gonna use a little sake cup with a design on it, set it right in the water, and now the water's dripping right on the side of it. So if the sake cup is in focus, then our water droplets will be also. All right, focus is as good as I think it'll get. So we'll go ahead and adjust the settings again, giving a preference for higher speed, because I think that worked well last time. Go ahead and turn the aperture up to f10, just because, well, this lens needs all the help that it can get. And now, turn on the turbo light. Yeah, this is not bad, but the lens is just not sharp. We're getting more detail of Grandma's tray, which I'm not terribly fond of. It just doesn't look good. You know what? I'm actually having difficulty with this tripod head. So we're gonna switch it out for an astrophotography one. I just need a lot more finesse and control than what I'm able to get. I'll be right back. All right, so this is a wedge mount from Move, Shoot, Move that we'll be using now. Oh yes, much more precise. This is hot. We're gonna let it cool down. All right, I think that light's probably cooled down enough. I'm switching out for the 70 by 200 now. I reviewed a couple of those photos and the sharpness was kind of lacking. So this lens, a fair bit sharper. I'm hoping I can pull out some cooler images than I was with the cheap lens. We are set up once again. I had to go just a little bit further back to get everything in focus this time. That little bit of distance takes out a bit of the wow factor. I don't really know that this blue light's doing anything from its current angle, so what if we change where it's sitting? Just straight up backlight it. this backlighting was really a good idea. Let's do that too. All right, so I took out the picture frame. The picture frame wasn't really doing anything for us, just given the amount of light that we need. So I think next up, let's try out this ring light right behind it and see how that is relative to the blue light instead. This has got to be the laziest photography I've ever done. Just gotta get the timing right and hope for the best. I think that settles it. Yes, with a setup with suboptimal equipment, I do think you need the flash and the macro lens to really make it perfect, but you can do it with normal lenses, a really bright flashlight, and you don't really need the doohickey that sets up the drips and triggers it for you. So, hope you enjoyed the video. I'm planning on making a few more videos just depending on how these challenges pan out. I don't think they're all gonna be inside of my apartment, so hopefully we'll go out on some good adventures, but I will see you around. Take care, and have a good one. Bye for now.